After coming off of 2 monstrous seasons averaging 15.6 points, 13 rebounds, 0.6 assists, 0.7 steals, 2.9 blocks, and shooting 58.2% from the field, Hassan Whiteside has plummeted. He has struggled through injuries this past season and has gotten to insufficient minutes from head coach Erik Spoelstra and flipped out after a close loss against the Brooklyn Nets where he was not playing at the end of the game. Trade rumors have been flying through the roof and it's no doubt any team could use him. So counting down the top 4 destinations for Hassan Whiteside. Number 4, the Boston Celtics. The Celtic fans think they're going to get everyone, right? So why just not throw Hassan into the mix? The Celtics are currently 18th place in blocks per game with 4.5, and although that's only a small part of defense considering they're number 1 in defensive rating, Hassan could sure help. Also, he could improve the Celtics on the offensive glass because they're settling with 9.4 per game, placing them 20th in the league. If they did want to pull a trade for Hassan Whiteside, they need to give up at least one young piece such as Marcus Smart or Jaylen Brown. If this happened, they would push Al Horford to the power forward position, which would work out nicely because Horford has never really been a spectacular rebounder, which Hassan is obviously great at. And Hassan is not a great playmaker, which Al Horford is great at. Both of them are good scorers, and both of their play styles could complement nicely. Not only does this provide the Celtics with a devastating inside presence, but it also creates a lineup with 5 past All-Stars. Whatever trade would be done to acquire Whiteside would also benefit the Miami Heat nicely because they are sitting around the middle of the Eastern Conference, and with a young star to build around, it could help them in the future. Number 3, the Toronto Raptors. Not only have they fired the coach of the year, they have also traded their best player in exchange for a former top 3 player. This team has already gone through so much change this offseason, so it only makes sense to change more while they can. Whenever Jonas Valanciunas plays well, they often win, but as much as the announcers say to feed JV early, the Raptors almost never do. He fits in well with the Raptors system, but doesn't get the ball as much as he deserves, and a lot of the Raptors fans want him out. Even if the new coaching staff and players gel well with him, it wouldn't be the end of the world to trade him. He's one of the most underrated players in the league, and he could have a better chance to shine in Miami. As for Toronto, they would get a much more athletic and better rebounding center that they can build their front court around. The Raptors may have to package a first rounder or a young player like Norman Powell to go along with Valanciunas, but it's a risk worth taking in my opinion. Number 2, the Los Angeles Lakers. Speaking of influential offseasons, you can't leave out the Lakers as they acquired the best player in the league along with some solid role players. A player like Hassan Whiteside could bring this team into serious contention as they are missing a solid center. To do this though, the Lakers would have to give up someone like Kyle Kuzma or Brandon Ingram for the Miami Heat to build around. Both teams are deep in the cap, so they'd need a perfect trade salary-wise. And finally, number 1, the Milwaukee Bucks. This is the perfect fit. Last season the Bucks were dead last in rebounding, and with the addition of Hassan Whiteside, it would more than make up for that. They have done nothing to solve their problem as they signed Brook Lopez, who is obviously subpar at rebounding, especially at his old age, and there's no free agents left who can help in that aspect. They also only have a 107.1 defensive rating, which places them second last and gives up the 7th most points in the paint in the league. There's no doubt Hassan Whiteside would help out in those areas, plus add some much needed big men scoring. Even though he's mostly an interior scorer, he can stretch the floor at least to the mid-range, which would be needed from him considering 70.3% of their shots come from inside the paint. To acquire his inside presence, they would need to give up a package like Thon Maker, Tony Snell, and a 2019 first round pick. Even though Thon Maker has been a bust this past season, Miami Heat could definitely turn him around with their current young big man, Bam Adebayo. The Bucks also expressed interest in him in 2013, but waved it off. Anyways, let me know if I forgot any teams in the comments. I was going to make this a top 5, but I couldn't really find a 5th team that would work out all that well. So thank you all for watching. I'll see you in the next one.